This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Hindu.
Hello and welcome to the Voice of Chennai. I'm Sanjay Pinto and this is your hotline to the hot seat. That's right, this is your prime time platform to air your grievances, to ask those tough questions to people who matter or are responsible to solve your problems. As we've been telling you through the day, our spotlight today is on banking services. Are your check deposits being cleared on time? Are your ATM transactions being recorded correctly through your account statements? Is your bank sending goondas to your home to collect your dues? For all this and more, you can call me right now. My number is 42907741. You can do this till 8:30 p.m. I repeat, my number 42907741. I have experts lined up in the studio to help you. And as we get your calls through, let's have a look at our headlines, both local and national. The PNK talk staff says the party is in no hurry to forge an alliance for next year's election. The Supreme Court calls Jallikattu, Tamil Nadu's bull taming sport and industry, and asks the state government to restrict the event to 60 days instead of 5 months. It's the new passport to a government job in Tamil Nadu. Schooling in English in Tamil medium. Here's the first recipient. It's a clash over land. A 200-year-old cattle market to be shunted out of Pallavaram. The move sparks protests. After being in police custody, this Kodaikanal school correspondent is back behind bars on charges of child molestation. Captain Cool Dhoni packs his bags for the island nation. No, not for his honeymoon, but to try and tie the Lankan team up in knots for the Test and Tri-Nation ODI series. Braving death threats, Paul the Octopus makes his big prediction. Spain, he says, will lift the World Cup. Alright, when banks take possession of your house or factory for being irregular in payments for a few months, the only place you can turn to for justice is the Debt Recovery Tribunal. Now, my colleague Peer Mohammed tells us how banks can be a law unto themselves.
T.R. Vishwanathan has built a business in aluminium accessories manufacturing over the last 25 years. When the recession hit world economy, aluminium prices fell all of a sudden. His payments to the bank became irregular. The bank reportedly used that as an opportunity to take possession of his 4 units. He was taken aback by the way the bank used the Safezi Act, which helps banks take possession of properties of a defaulter. Fortunately for him, the bank ignored one clause of the Act, which makes getting a court order mandatory to take possession of any property.
Came to our factory without our knowledge. When the unit was running in a good condition, they came to our factory with some gundas. Not so many other outsiders, every people came to our factory. They pushed all our workers out. In fact, that furnace was running 800-degree temperature. That to LPG gas fired furnace. Suddenly they have stopped the furnace. If anything happened, the casualty would be more than 100 to 15 people at that time. They have misused their power. They switched off all the furnace and everything. They pushed all the workers out of the factory and they have sealed it. In fact, I called them, don't do like this. If you have any court order, I will come. I am ready to cooperate with you. You don't disturb my workers and don't beat my workers.
The mistake of the bank in following norms helped Vishwanathan in the Debt Recovery Tribunal. While hearing the case, DRT condemned the bank for its high-handedness and non-conformity with the norms.
Banks are taking such harsh actions. Many times the borrowers are very much affected. Sometimes the property value will be very high. The loan taken would be very small, but banks will be interested for selling the property. Many times it was noted that bank officers are joining with the syndicate gundas. They reduce the price of the properties. If anybody is coming for purchasing for proper value, these gundas will prevent them from auctioning such properties in the bank premises.
After Vishwanathan challenged the bank's action in DRT, the bank has recently agreed to hear his side of the story. The victim of a bank's arbitrary action is hoping to get justice soon. In Chennai, with Peer Mohammed, Natasha for NDTV Hindu.
All right, shocking case there, but let me first introduce our guest today, Mr. Arokya Sami, who is the president of the Credit Card Users Association, and Mr. G. Munindran, who is a leading lawyer who specializes in consumer cases. Thank you very much for joining us. We've also got our first caller on the line. Good evening. Who is this?
I am K.S. Parameswaran.
Yes, Mr. Parameswaran. What's your question or your problem, please?
Is it regarding borrowing? Can I talk about the deposits also?
Sorry?
Can I ask a question about deposit also? Hello,
Yeah, please
your voice is not audible. Hello?
Yes, go ahead with your question, sir.
Yeah, you see, recently, when I opened an RD account, hello?
Yes.
Recently, when I opened an RD account, I wanted the nominee's name to be entered in the RD passbook. But the bank said it can only be registered, but they did not enter the name. See, once something happens to me, the nominee should know that whom I have nominated. That is very, very important. If it is kept confidential, how will the nominee know that I have nominated he or she?
All right, very angry Mr. Parameswaran. Okay, let's answer that. Let's get an answer to that, Mr. Munindran. The nominee should know who is actually, whether they've been nominated or what to this account.
Account holder has to give a nominee, and bank, it seems in the caller's case, they don't want to divulge the nominee's name to the nominee.
Why? What is it? It's a free case or is it a practice?
No, it has been a practice, because when we go and open an account in a bank, it's a normal thing that in our absence, in case of our not alive, next the nominee steps into our shoes and he or she can claim the amount or continue to operate the account as they deem fit.
But when it's a will, it's not, sometimes you don't know whether you've been bequeathed property or not. So similarly here, then we go to the bank, they'll tell you whether you're a nominee or not. Is there a specific problem there? But
no, actually this account holder, he can inform to the
it's the onus is on the account holder. Okay.
Yes. Bank has no obligation to inform to the nominee.
All right, but it would help if they do.
If they do.
All right, we've got Ramani next from Ananagar. Good evening, Ramani. What's your question, please?
Yeah, hi. I have a question. Like, when we default paying credit cards or loans, why do they land up 7 o'clock in the morning? And then, like even in spite of RBI instructions not to disturb us after 7, they land up. And then they send thugs into the house. They barge in and they come and threaten us, screaming outside the house, all these things. Why do they do all this?
All right, you must be dealing with several cases like this, Mr. Arokya Sami. In fact, we'll also be joined very shortly by Dr. Setu Raman, who's the Chief Manager Marketing of Indian Overseas Bank. But he'll join us in a short while from now. Before that, if you could answer that question, what is the recourse for a common person who's probably defaulted for reasons beyond their control? Let's say the salary has not been credited on time or whatever.
See, usually for the defaulters, all these banks are engaging collection agents
without verifying the antecedents.
Without knowing their antecedents.
Is it true that the higher the more notorious the gunda is, the higher the rate charged?
Yeah, higher is the rate charged, and the loan amount also, if it is more delayed for several months, then they engage a tougher person. And as the caller said, they sent these collection agents early morning by 7 o'clock. We can find many of them roaming in the street with the bike or with a list of
that's to embarrass the customer, which is illegal.
Just to embarrass the customer, and
which is illegal.
Yes, which is illegal, because the Reserve Bank has given clear-cut guidelines how these agents should be used for collection.
All right, we've got Suresh now calling in from Ambattur. Good evening, Suresh. What's your problem?
Good evening. See, I have an account with one bank.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, please go ahead.
You can hear me, no?
I can hear you. Yes.
But my salary is being. I work for the government, and my salary is being credited to this account.
Okay.
But they refuse to accept it as a salary account, and have to maintain a balance of 10,000 rupees.
Okay, Mr. Munindran.
Pardon?
Yeah. What is the specific problem here?
They refuse to accept this as a salary account, even though my salary is being credited to this account.
Yes.
They say that the approved list does not contain my department, so it is not a salary account.
Okay.
That's purely between the bank and the concerned department, which have to solve this issue. Because the caller says that the department credits his salary into the concerned bank account.
Yes.
And when the customer goes and asks for the amount, they say that it's not possible. And that has to be solved between the department. And he should take it up with the
So
department.
you're getting, which means a hapless customer is caught in this crossfire between the bank and the government department.
Yes.
Mr. Arogyasamy,
Yes,
what is the remedy for him?
Because it's a salary account, the bank should say clearly it's a salary account, he can operate the same. But the best thing is he has to clarify with the department where they have kept his, maintaining this account and whether it is maintained in this particular bank or that way.
All right. We've got Akash next from RK Salai. Akash, go ahead with your question, please.
Hi.
Hi.
My name is Akash and I'm calling from RK Salai. Actually, I had taken loan from ICICI Bank, okay? And
Yes.
I'm not able to pay it. And I've also filed a case against that on the bank because I cannot pay them. There are a lot of people coming and troubling me again. So what is the remedy? What do I do next?
You're not able to pay, but did they assess your capacity to repay when you took the loan, to be fair to the bank? Because non-performing assets are rising for all banks.
Yes, exactly. I had paid a couple of installments, but unfortunately at the recession time, my job had gone. Okay. And I'm not still getting the same salary what I was drawing before. Okay, so I was not able to pay my loan.
All
So
right.
what do I do?
This seems a genuine case, somebody who's got the pink slip because of recession.
Yes.
So he cannot definitely be classified as a dishonest borrower, as some banks in fact give ads,
Yes, he can,
all of shame, published in the newspapers.
Your point,
Yes.
that bank before advancing loan
Should have,
No, but
They
this
should
is,
have-
but this is an unforeseen
they
circumstance.
should have assessed, but they normally they don't do.
But in this case,
Because
nowadays the banks are restructuring the loan. In case he is not able to pay, for example, the EMI is in the higher side, the banks usually restructure the loan and they come to a lesser EMI and they help the borrowers to repay the loan in lesser installments.
So what should he do now in this case?
He
He's
can
not able
contact
to
that
pay.
bank. He can contact that bank, ask them to restructure the entire loan. Maybe suppose his EMI is about 5,000 rupees. He can ask the bank to reduce it to 2,000 or 1,500.
Would you like to give him, maybe he can get in touch with you, the credit card
Yes,
Users Association. Would you
yeah.
like to give him your mobile number?
Yeah,
on
my
this
mobile
line?
number is 9444 003336.
9444 003336. All right, so he can call you,
He can
and
call me
also
and
if we can also flash Mr. Arogyasami's number from the Credit Users Association,
Yes.
they can probably get in touch with you and you can give them ideas.
Yes, yes.
Yes, we've also got Esther Satyavati now, who's also calling from Ananagar. Esther, go ahead.
Yeah. Hello.
Yes, Esther.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, so I'm working in a school in in Ainabaram.
Okay.
And see, we have an account in Indian Bank, Kilpok branch. And our school has been having this account for quite some time, 10 years or so, something like that. And we also have a trust. And all these accounts are maintained in this account. And what happens is now this year we plan to have fees paid by the parents through the bank. But the staff there are, after consulting with the manager and doing all these things, planning only, we plan to have the fee structure, fee paid at the bank. But the staff there are not at all cooperating with the parents there. Every day they just throw away the challans, or they do not put the seal properly, or they do not sign it. They even abuse the parents who come to pay at the bank. And I've also registered a complaint online and also spoke to the some person regarding the customer care or somebody, and they said they will take care. But yet the problem is not solved. Yeah.
That's okay. I mean, sometimes you have the drop boxes also.
Yeah,
you don't get any acknowledgement. Even sometimes they don't. Even they give you a stamp. The date isn't there. They don't. There's no initial. So banks want to do less work, but the customer as a consumer,
yes,
your rights are being shortchanged here.
Yes, but nationalized banks mostly they give us, they put, they get us.
Drop box can only be considered as an option, but it is the duty of the bank to acknowledge that the check has been deposited in the
In
drop
her case,
box.
she's talking about school fees and all that. What solution do you have for her?
School fees usually they fill up in the challan, pay them, and they give the challan copy to us. So that way it should not be a big problem. But if they have a particular school has an account in a particular branch, it usually depends on the branch and the particular school where they are paying the school fees.
All right.
If still they persist with the same kind of difficulties causing to the customer, they have a forum called Ombudsman, Banking Ombudsman Scheme, under which they can represent their grievances and get it solved. But my experience with this Ombudsman scheme has been, it's not at all favoring the public.
Okay. It's almost like a tool for the banks.
It's like a SARFAESI Act, which favors out and out the banks.
That particular case, I think we'll slide into a short break. We've got many more callers coming in. We'll talk about the SARFAESI Act. We also have, in fact, Dr. Sethuraman, Chief Manager, Marketing of Indian Overseas Bank, will join us right after we slip into a very, very short commercial break. Stay tuned.